Live from Sin City, it's the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. And now, here's the star of the show, Giant Dr. Griffin!
This is Diet Dr. Griffin back with another episode of the Socks and Pinstripes Podcast. We're going to overreact a bit today because that's what everybody does. They look at 1 week's of data and then extrapolate that over 6 months of a season. Isn't that going to be fun? But let's start on a bit of a more somber note. This week, Octavio Dotel, former Major League reliever, passed away in an incident this week at a nightclub where basically the roof collapsed and a bunch of people were killed in the Dominican Republic. And
wow.
Yeah, it was a really sad incident. And my heart goes out to, the family, since he wasn't the only one that passed away. A number of people died in that incident.
And Jet Set Club, huh? Crazy.
Yeah, it was like during, I think, a jazz concert. And he initially survived, but he died on the way to the hospital. So I think he ended up surviving like 7 hours or something under the rubble.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah. He was a really good reliever with the Astros early on in his career, and then he ended up just kind of bouncing around a lot of different teams and was a really good immaculate grid name if you did that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay.
He was also on the 2011 World Series winning Cardinals squad.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so...
Man, 112 other people, too. That's just crazy.
Well, I mean, construction standards aren't really up to snuff down there.
I mean, obviously.
You would hear stories about some other prospects and stuff over the years who like died on the roads down there.
Oh, geez.
And a lot of that's just because they don't like have adequate funds to clear the roads from other stuff. So there's often like a lot of debris and things on the roads. The kind of stuff that you just take for granted here in the United States.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, if like tires or other crap gets put on the roads out here, they're going to get cleaned up and pretty quickly. But down there, it's not as good of an experience for them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, on a brighter note, let's talk about a big contract extension that happened this past week because Vladdy Guerrero Jr. signed a $500 million contract extension with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Vladdy.
For 14 years, and that's over 14 years.
So he'll be a Blue Jay for life now.
Yeah. What do you think about that deal?
Honestly, I really like Vladdy, so I'm happy he got his money. Now, for all the fantasy owners, expect him to take this year off. So,
well, I like the deal in terms of the money because really, for a high value player like Vlad has been, he kind of flies under the radar, but he's only going to be getting a average of 35 million over the course of the deal. I think really where everybody's got the objections is A, that he's a first baseman getting that much money, which generally speaking, first basemen haven't been getting big, massive $30 million contracts.
Yeah, but I mean, he's one of the best in the league. So
yeah, I'm not, and I feel like this was done because of how poorly the Toronto Blue Jays have done at getting people to sign there.
Yeah.
They've really struggled in free agency. They went out and tried to get Ohtani. They tried to get Judge. They tried to get all of the elite guys, and they can't seem to get them to come over to Canada. And they got Anthony Santander to come by, and that was like the best free agent they could get this year.
Yeah.
And they had to do some funky accounting to get him to sign.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, let's see... he ended up deferring significant money on his deal. Anthony Santander
makes sense.
Anthony Santander is going to get $5 million a year for the years 2035 through 2046. So that's pretty wacky there. And that's on a 5-year, $92 million deal. So that's a ton of deferrals. And
Yeah,
the
that is a
funky
lot of deferrals.
accounting that
Not as much deferrals as the Dodgers, though. So
no, nobody's doing that level of deferrals. But the thing is, the funky detail on Vlad's contract, because there are no deferrals on Vlad's contract. However,
Mm.
what they did do is they arranged it for a $325 million signing bonus.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, though, they're paying the signing bonus over the course of the contract.
Oh, gotcha.
But the reason that they're doing it, though, actually, according to what it says on Spotrac, it's from 2025 to 2039, even though the extension doesn't start till next year. The
Yeah.
reason I think they're doing this is because of the fact that they are trying to skirt around the Canadian tax system,
Okay.
trying to skate around Uncle Trudeau up there.
That makes sense.
Vladdy being a Florida resident is like, I'll just, get this 325 million without income tax. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think we're going to see
Exactly.
more of this kind of creative accounting until the rules change in the system, potentially in the next collective bargaining agreement.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a 2026, right?
After next season, yeah.
Yeah. That's also the World Baseball Classic, right?
Yeah, that'll be the World Baseball Classic should be at the beginning of next season
Okay.
because they always hold that in March. It would have been interesting if it was 2027 and you had all of these players in the midst of a lockout doing the World Baseball Classic, but it's a year early.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
So Shane in particular here wanted to do this segment where we look at the standings and we compare and contrast how we are doing based on our picks. And I kind of thought it was a little early, but we're gonna have some fun here with this and see how things go. Overreaction in the first week of April. You ready to go?
Yeah. Cubs are winning the World Series. Let's go.
All right, all right. So in the National League, who do you think is the current leader in the standings? In the National League East.
It's the Padres, right?
In the end, we're talking divisions here. Let's do
Oh,
divisions here.
in the Central or what
Let's do
division
the
are we
East.
talking?
Let's do the East.
Oh, Mets, Mets, with the Phillies close behind. So,
Well, technically, the Mets and Phillies are both 9-5.
ooh, they're tied.
Yeah. The Marlins are in third place at 7-7. Nationals are 6-8, and the Atlanta Braves just won their first road game yesterday at 4-10.
10, jeez.
Well, I mean, look, you start your season 0-7 playing the Padres and Braves in San Diego and LA, like you get off to a really bad start.
Yeah, that's true. So,
In the NL Central, and of course, both of us were kind of up on the Phillies. I'm kind of down on the Mets a bit. I think we all kind of both have the Mets in third place. And, Nats and Marlins, not surprising. They get a little luck early in the season.
yeah.
In the Central Division, the Cubbies are up 10-7 with
Cubs, let's go.
the Brew Crew are at 8-7. The Reds
That's
are
not surprising.
Yeah, the Reds are 7-8, Cardinals 6-8, Pirates 5-10.
Yeah, apparently, if you take away Ellie De La Cruz's monster game yesterday, he's only batting 186 too. That's what everyone's saying. So
Yeah.
he did hit a grand slam. He did help his team win, but not off to a great start. So
Yeah. Now, this is where it's getting interesting. Now we got the NL West here. And the Padres are 12-3 to start the season.
Dude, the Friars are playing out of their mind right now.
They're 9-0 at home.
They recorded a league-leading fifth shutout yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean it's the
Just,
Rockies, so I mean take it with a grain
I
of
mean, I
salt.
don't know. The Rockies had Doe something.
Well, Dolander's their rookie, their
Yeah,
prize pitching prospect.
he looked awesome, and he only gave up two runs against that Padres lineup. That's a good outing. So
Yeah, I would take that. Unfortunately, the Padres kept them from scoring anything. And the Giants, surprisingly, the Giants are 10-4. They have gotten off to a pretty good start too, and the Dodgers are 11-5. My Diamondbacks are 8-7, and of course the Rockies have the worst record in the majors at 3-11. No shock there. On to the American League. We had the Yankees leading the AL East so far at 8-6, but this is a very tight division because the worst record in the league in that division goes to the Orioles at 6-8, and all the teams are in the middle of that. So,
yeah, that's so
Yankees,
crazy. It's so close. That division is just insane every year.
the Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Rays, and Orioles. And somehow the Red Sox have lost 2 games already to the White Sox.
Let's go, White Sox.
Yeah. The
Dude, White Sox aren't even the last in their division either. So
I was just about to get to that. Literally, you jumped the gun on that. The Tigers.
That's what I'm here for.
Your Tigers are up 9-5. So
I know. I believe Tigers. I believe in you. Keep up the good work.
And then the Guardians are 8-6. The Royals are 7-8. The White Sox are 4-10, and then the Twinkies are 4-11.
Yeah, let's go,
Because they
White
have to play
Sox.
Chris Paddock out there, and that, of course, is something you should never do. Chris Paddock should not be starting any game in MLB. Just say no. And in the West, probably the most surprising thing is that the Angels are 9-5, leading
Yeah,
the division.
what is going on right now?
And the thing is, they're 7-4 on the road. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, they're playing pretty well. So
Mike Trout is healthy at the moment, and that's a big deal. This Harris kid came out of nowhere and is just lighting things up. This Kyron Paris kid, did you hear about him?
No.
He's sort of a second baseman, but he's playing in the outfield now.
Okay.
Yeah, he already has 5 home runs.
Jeez.
Yeah, just came out of nowhere.
I mean, you mean came out of left field?
I think he might be a center fielder actually, but he hit 4 home runs.
Oh, is Mike Trout just DHing right now?
I know he's spending some time DHing. I'm not 100% sure.
Because center field is his position, Griffin.
Well,
okay?
I know that Mike Trout moved off of center field. He's not going to be doing center field anymore.
Oh, what is he over in? He's over in right.
I think he's
probably?
right in DHing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I knew he was moving off of center field this year.
Oh, so he gave it up to the kid, and now the kid is just letting everybody know he's here to stay right now.
Yeah, well, Mike Trout looks like he's played right field in 11 games and DH 3, so he's been playing the field, just right field, not center field.
Gotcha.
Which, hey, Mike Trout has already hit 6 home runs and driven in 14, so
okay. Yeah.
I will take that from Mike Trout, even though he's only hitting 212 at the moment, but
yeah. How's Logan O'Hoppy's having a good year too, right?
Yeah, he's been off to a good start. ESPN, had him as hitting, I believe, 319 so far.
Yeah, that's good for him.
319. He's got 5 home runs too. Although those
He's,
numbers are a little inflated because they did play a couple of games at Swamp Brenner Field,
mm.
which is where the Rays are playing now. They've given up so many home runs there. I don't know if you've kind of followed any of this at all.
Oh yeah, it's the home run valley.
Yeah, like the minor league parks seem to be really giving up the home runs. I was watching the Braves play there yesterday. They were getting their first road win, and they hit between the two teams. They hit like 5 home runs,
Jeez, that's crazy.
and the Angels hit 6 home runs in a game there earlier this week.
Well, maybe the Mariners can actually win a game there since they love to just only hit home runs. Otherwise, they don't like scoring. So
Yeah, and the Rays are doing some weird stuff because the MLB is doing some weird stuff with the Rays because they're playing like they're front loading their home schedule. I was looking at the calendar and the Rays have already played 11 games at home this year, and they're only going to play a combined 16 games at home in the months of July and August.
wow. Okay.
They don't want to have to play down there during the hot summer.
Yeah. When it's like 1,000,000 degrees with 180% humidity.
Yeah. And of course, the A's are going to have to deal with that because in Sacramento it gets ridiculously hot out there too.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of the Sacramento team here, the AFs, or that's what we're going to call them these days. They have they had basically like a Home Depot shed as their like press conference booth.
I kind of love it, honestly.
And now they had an injured player yesterday. The Jose Siri was injured yesterday during a game, and as they were trying to get him off of the field, one of the golf carts ran out of gas.
I don't even have enough money for gas, basically.
I mean, gas is expensive in California, man.
I mean, it's a Major League Baseball team. Are you kidding me right now?
How much
I'd
is gas?
accept that excuse from you or me or like any other person in America who works a 9 to 5 job, but from a multi-million/billion-dollar agency in baseball, yeah. I mean, I don't care how much gas costs.
Well, I mean, the A's are trying to figure out how they're going to get their funding ready so they can do their groundbreaking ceremony in Vegas
Yeah, well,
in
apparently
June
they
here.
can't even fill their golf carts up with gas. So.
How much is gas up there in Seattle by chance? Do you know?
Oh man, I just looked at I haven't bought gas in a year now.
Yeah, you don't own a car, so it's like
Yeah.
you don't really look at gas
Um
prices.
yeah, and I do walking routes. So I literally told the only guy who has a route with a car, I sat him down when I first took over as his T6 and I was like, "Yo, I will not be putting gas in this car. So if you leave it empty, I will literally drive someone else's vehicle for the day." But I think it's like 433, I think is what it is. So
Yeah, because like my gas here, I think I paid like close to 350 for gas, but I always go to Costco to buy gas, and Costco is like a good 50 cents cheaper than like Chevron is, for example.
yeah, I think last time I was at Costco here, it was like 385. So
All right, well, I'm gonna Google it here. Sacramento gas prices. Let's see here. Gas, Sacramento County. It's saying it's 429 at Bonfire Market, wherever the heck that is.
wow,
So
Bonfire Market's selling gas. That's, a little bit fire and gasoline. They don't really mix that well. So
yeah, Bonfire. There seems to be a bunch of those. Might be a grocery store chain. I've never heard of them. But a
yeah.
lot of 429s, a lot of 435s. 439 at Costco on Stockton Boulevard, wherever the heck that is. So
Yeah. All right.
not
So it's
that
basically the same
expensive.
as
Not
Seattle.
expensive
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be honest.
Yeah. It's
So
basically the same as Seattle, essentially.
yeah, Get yourself some gas tanks there, buddy.
Yeah.
So both of us have the Angels losing the division in last place, and they are presently winning the division. Best team in baseball.
Yeah.
Both of us didn't even have the Padres making the playoffs. That might have been an overreaction
Yeah.
in the beginning, but I think the Padres are still good. I just don't know if they're going to hold up. And obviously, I'm not ruling out the Snakes yet. It's too early. Corbin Burns still
Yeah.
hasn't pitched particularly well yet. Merrill Kelly has been horrible out the gate, but I'm still a believer in them.
Yeah.
The Giants have really been the surprise team, I think, in the NL West. I didn't think
Yeah.
they'd do much of anything so far, and they've been pretty solid. Buster
I saw
Posey.
you also picked up Robbie Ray.
I didn't want to say this during my draft prep, but I actively avoided NL West pitchers in the draft.
Yeah. Except for
Yeah,
Robbie Ray.
except for Robbie Ray, because he seemed like too good of a discount. I was hoping that changeup he was learning from Tarek Scooble Dooby Doo would help out. He hasn't exercised it much. I didn't play him on Friday, and he ended up getting like a very weird start with the Yankees because it was raining, and then they got rain shortened. Yankees
Yeah.
like they got to a 5-run lead against the Yankees. Marcus Stroman got an owie on his knee because they needed an excuse to not play him next time around. They put him on the injury list. Robbie Ray gets fronted a 5-run lead and can't make it through 5 innings because of the weather being so bad and him walking 4 guys, and somehow still managed to get the win because the game only went 6 innings.
Classic.
And I had him on the bench thinking that, hey, Jacob deGrom in Seattle, that's like a no-brainer. And then deGrom gives up 2 home runs,
Yep.
2 solo shots, including one to your favorite Rowdy Tellez guy.
Dude, yeah, I can't even. He's batting 086 right now.
Yeah, and he has a
I
home off
don't
of Jacob deGrom.
I don't effing get it. I don't understand. I really
I was
don't. So,
watching deGrom start, and then I realized that, like, for whatever reason, the Rangers can't win games up in Seattle.
yeah,
They have
well, that
like
makes
a they have like
one team out of it.
a sub 200 winning percentage in Seattle in the last 5 years.
That's like the Mariners. I'm surprised. We actively try to lose in our own stadium too. So,
Yeah, it's they were talking about the whole stadium thing and how the pitchers seem to really be good at strikeouts and the hitters can't hit and they don't want to do anything to fix it because they think that's their advantage. And
yeah, only it works against their own players. So,
it's like the Rockies. They can't take advantage. They have such a bad lineup that they can't take advantage of their own ballpark, and everybody
yeah,
else gets to take advantage of it over them.
yeah,
I mean, Chris Bryant can't do anything in there, and
yeah.
he's wrestling. He's trying to wrestle the worst contract in recent memory away from Anthony Rendon.
That's true.
But I mean, he can't. I mean, Rendon got signed for like $70 million more than Bryant did. So it's like,
Yeah.
try as you may, you aren't gonna wrestle that one away.
Yeah.
Do you have any other kind of early thoughts about the season that have kind of surprised you a bit?
Um, yeah, honestly, I didn't think the Astros would have started off as poorly as they have. So,
The Astros though, they started poorly last season too, if you remember.
yeah, they get off to a slow start and then they kind of find their stride and then always wind up winning the division. So I'm not worried about it, but I just thought I don't know, for whatever reason I thought they might have just played better out of the gate. But I mean, obviously I didn't think the Angels would be the best team in the American League West. So
And yeah, the Angels and Tigers have the best records in the American League, believe it or not.
yeah, which is crazy. So
I mean, I think the Astros last year started off like 12 and 24.
yeah,
So
that makes sense.
so being 6 and 8 is like, that's not terrible.
Yep, I just have
They,
a
they
feeling the
just they just
Mariners are going to
didn't.
stay right in the middle this year. So,
Yeah, I think the Astros really struggled with hitting, and then they broke out a couple of days ago when they got home. They had a game where they put up let's pull up
well,
four,
Isaac
they went
Paredes is going to
14
be,
and 3 against the Angels a couple nights ago.
yeah, Isaac Paredes has to be loving that short porch out and left too.
Why I
So,
drafted him, man.
yeah,
Everyone, all the nerds were talking him up about how that ballpark would be the perfect ballpark for him.
well, how's he played so far?
Well, he didn't hit a couple home runs until yesterday. He started a little slow out the gate.
Yeah,
He is he's turning it around a little bit.
yeah, that's better than my team started off strong and then just literally was like, yeah, we're going to take the next couple weeks off. So,
Yeah. He has had hits in one, two, three, four, six out of his last 7 games, including a 4-hit game and a 3-hit game in there.
mm.
So he was doing a lot of singles and stuff, and then he's hit like home runs in back-to-back days.
Okay, there you go.
But there was a trip mixed in with Seattle in there, so that a little
Yeah.
little slow trip in there. But the Angels, he's bounced back against the Angels.
Yeah. I hope
And
Gunnar Henderson turns it around. He's off to a super slow start too. So
I mean, Rafi got off to a slow start and he turned it around too. So it
yeah,
I think it's just some of these guys with the little reduction in spring training prep just because of the injuries and stuff that they just got off to slow starts that way.
that
Even
makes sense.
you can argue the Dodgers have gotten off to a slow start, only being 11-5.
Right.
I mean, they were looking mortal against the Nationals this week.
Yeah, and Rocky Sasaki has been absolutely wild. That guy's K's to base on balls is obscenely bad. So
Yeah. I mean, they lost the road series against the Phillies and the Nationals.
yeah, that checks out.
And then let's see. So, the crazy thing was they lost 16 to nothing last night to the Cubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was reading some analysts he's like message to Cubs hitters, don't swing.
And let's see. Who did they I was trying to see who pitched yesterday for the um
Who was Roki Sasaki
oh,
pitched
I
for the
think
Dodgers.
yeah, okay, so Sasaki, and the thing is though, this is the fun part. How many earned runs do you think Sasaki gave up yesterday of the 16?
Like three.
1 run in 5 innings.
Jeez. So they just absolutely smashed the bullpen essentially.
Pretty much it was I think there was an unearned run in there. Oh no, no. Okay. So after 5 innings, it was a 1-0 game, Chicago.
Yeah.
Then they scored 1 in the 6th, 5 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, and 5 in the ninth.
Nice.
5 of the runs were off a position player, Miguel Rojas, who pitched 2 innings last night.
Oh, nice. So the Cubs are like, we're just gonna get revenge for Japan, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. They just plowed through whoever these Ben Casparius and Luis Garcia.
Hmm. Those aren't
Uh,
any slouches, so
well, in the Dodgers bullpen, they gave up 10 of the 15 runs, and then 5 runs are given up off the position player,
yeah.
which is fun, 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 fun. I always love the position player pitching.
Me
Somehow, the
too,
position
man.
player pitching 2 innings is just hilarious.
Yeah, that's how badly they were losing after the man.
Yeah, they got 2 innings out of Casparius and Garcia. Garcia recorded 1 out and gave up 4 earned runs.
Wow.
Yeah. And Miguel Rojas gave up 7 hits in 2 innings.
What position does he play?
These their shortstop.
Okay, nice. It's just throwing balls and strikes for the night.
Pretty much. You got any closing remarks?
I wonder if he gets the day off today. The longest baseball game ever lasted for 8 hours and 25 minutes and was a game between the Rochester Red Wings and the Pawtucket Red Sox.
Yeah,
There
the
were
Paw Sox.
the Paw Sox. There were 33 innings. After the first 9, it was 1-1. After 21 innings, it was 2-2. Which persisted until 32 innings. Then the game was suspended and resumed 2 months later with the Red Sox winning in 18 minutes.
I think when was this? I feel like this was in the early 80s. I feel like Wade Boggs played that game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know when it was played.
For some reason I feel like it was played with Wade Boggs in it. I feel like that was a thing, and
Oh yeah, that could be.
this is great content here. It was 1981, so I feel like Wade Boggs would have played on that team because I think he came up in 82.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Boggsy.
Although ironically, MLB.com first game that comes up, longest game ever was in 1920. So I always
Okay.
love our stats being disputed immediately. But I think in terms of innings, though, it
Yeah.
was um, it was certainly more innings, this one that we're talking about here.
Yeah, 33, yeah.
I'm trying to get down to or they actually might not be counting minor league games in there. That might be why.
Oh yeah, because this was definitely a minor league game. So
Yeah. Yeah, the
yeah.
Paw Sox were the longtime affiliate in Pawtucket, of course. That's why they call it the Paw Sox.
Yeah.
All right, and on that note, it's going to be a fun time editing this show because we had a lot of internet connections here, issues here.
I feel like we
So,
made it through relatively unscathed. So
yeah, and only took an extra 15 minutes on the recording side between all the blips and bloops and flops. So
yeah.
we'll see you guys next week with more overreactions about things in the standings and fun stuff.
Bye now.